Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth and I'm back doing a freestyle horoscope for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Krabby Pants Cancer. Now, pardon my voice a little bit. I have been recording quite a lot and I intended these videos to be really short, but actually they were all going really long. So just kind of bear with me there. The freestyle videos are not to take the place of my mid-month readings or my general readings or my sex and relationship readings. These are just readings that I wanted to do. I felt like it was important for me to do kind of just like break away from the old and just kind of do freestyle reading with less parameters on time frame. So you may be watching this like in 2017 sometime, okay? Or even later than that, you know? You may be going back through my videos. You may discover these videos at a later point in time. So I am recording this mid-May, so this is applicable if you're watching this mid-May or early June, because I don't, again, want to put like a really finite time frame on these horoscopes. I am reading from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck, which is a deck that I don't usually use, but I call it Bear and Read. I have used it before in my yearly predictions that I did in December. I think it was December or January, whenever I posted those. And I think I used this deck. I might have done it last year. I don't know. But anyway, the point here is that I am using this deck, and I haven't taken any creative artistic license with it. So I'm reading straight from the deck and straight from the book that comes with the deck. And I'm incorporating my other decks that I have taken creative artistic license with in a combination here. So, and I'm not going to read every single card from the book. I'm going to read, maybe 2 or 3 cards. Usually I do 2, but I might do 3 or more depending on, my feeling and what's calling to me, what needs to come through as far as messages. So let me just take in the energy here. I just laid out a spread. Now you may be in relation to an Aquarius, or you may have some planets in Aquarius. Also Aries, you may be in relation to an Aries or have some planets in Aries as well. Because you got the dry desert card. I call it the Ori Desert card. It's a name that it just looks like the name Ori Desert, but it's not existent. It's not existent place. Same as them, okay? Same as them. I really want to talk about what's going in the card in the immediate future. So you have this Peaks of Joy card, which is a really interesting card. You can see this girl, she's flying above the clouds, I am noticing that there's actually like a shooting star here. Now, I have had clients and know of people that are what you call I call them shooting star people. People that aren't really going to be around for a long time. They may have a shortened lifespan. They may die young. This is the kind of thing where obviously I am reading for a lot of people. So you may already kind of know that this is you if you kind of have a sense of urgency about life. If you have a sense of urgency to like get up and go and you gotta go all the time, chances are, and it goes beyond just being kind of ADD. It goes beyond. It's sort of just like you feel like you've got to do, like almost like a compulsion to do things. And because in your mind you don't have much time. And so that's why. It's less about being ADD, but I do feel like some of you that are watching are what I call shooting star people, and you need to make a bucket list, whether you're going to live till tomorrow, or you're going to live for another 50 years. You need to make a bucket list and do things maybe that you've always wanted to do, and do things that inspire you, because to me, that's what a shooting star person, like, their energy is. A shooting star comes in and it's a big flash of light, and then it dies. Okay, that's a shooting star. Some of you also may be in the film industry or in Hollywood, or doing something where there's a lot of famous people around you. I feel like this is more of needing to adapt an attitude of gratitude, number one, and number two, kind of the urgency to get up and go and to complete things. Okay, so back to what a shooting star person is. When I say a shooting star person, this is a person who a lot of times becomes very famous for a specific reason, and they're only here, they basically they usually die young. They don't really make it past 60, I want to say. They live kind of like a shortened lifespan. They do a lot in that period of time. Obviously the people that may come to mind, I'm sure there's a lot of musicians that come to mind right away for you, that maybe died, in their 50s or 60s. They don't live until they're 90, okay? I'm not trying to scare you here. I don't want to scare you, because I feel like most of the time shooting star people know. They know already. Inherently, they have an urgency about life. They have to get up and go and do things. It's like a compulsion for them. And they just know. And so I'm not going to be telling you, if you're a shooting star person, you already just kind of inherently know. And you're shaking your head and going, yes, that's me. For the rest of you, I feel like this is experiencing some kind of joyous moment or joyous feeling. It's like a high. Again, Cancers need to be very aware of the highs and lows. Their diet, their exercise program, their workout program, their work schedule, because a lot of times Cancers can be attracted to sugary foods. They can be attracted to a lot of carbs, feel-good things that make them feel good in that moment, but then there's a crash later, okay? So avoiding alcohol too, avoiding any kind of substances, drugs, anything that's going to give you this peak experience and then have you crash. I want to caution you at this time, whenever you're watching this, could be May, could be June, whenever it is, to really be careful of the peaks, of these peaks in your, spikes in blood sugar. If you think twice about the jelly donut, I'm telling you now, okay? Excuse me, just one second. So it's just something that I think you should be aware of. I'm going to read this for you, and tell you what it says in the book. Okay, so that's sort of my interpretation, but there's a book interpretation too. It says, joy is yours today. It says, no matter what your inquiry, you will be happy with the results. You're coming closer to a sense of achievement, and you've worked hard for it. You're surrounded by true companions and events that are synchronistically arranged to bring you to the next level of your life. The world is singing a beautiful harmony. Life is exhilarating and hopeful. Let gratitude fill your heart and remember to share your happiness. Joy is contagious. So it's a peak experience. It's a happy moment. I like to see this for you. I do. I feel like this is a high and there is a low here in the reading. In the recent past, you have the Goblins card, which I'm going to read as well. Simply because to me, this is a negative and this is like a really, really positive. So again, you guys need to watch your blood sugar, need to watch your state of mind, your emotions, moods. Cancers are prone to having mood swings. This is how they are. This is how you're made. So you may have been coming out of a time that was very challenging and very difficult, and you're moving into a better period. However, because you got the Desert card, it's almost like you need to remember that you're on a journey, okay? You need to remember that you may have highs, you may have lows, but you're headed someplace and you're traveling through life, and it meant to experience highs and lows and different things. And just because one period of your life is over, let's just say a negative period, doesn't mean you'll never have a negative experience again. The thing about emotions, and the thing that's very challenging, is that, when we go through our cycles in life, we get very frustrated because we feel like we're not getting anywhere, okay? Or we can't see where we're going, or we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, or we don't feel like any clarity about things, and we're just kind of going through the motions. And then we get into a good period of our lives, and we are like just really, really, really happy that we're no longer going through that terrible period. But each period in our lives serves a purpose. When we are down and out and feeling like crap, which you may have felt recently, it's a time to kind of go deeper and figure out who we are and figure out what motivates us, and to find things that inspire us, and to make changes, to do things that inspire us. So honestly, I would never have started a YouTube channel had I not been curious at that time, or motivated at the time to do something different. And it wasn't about the money. When I started, I don't know if some of you probably remember, because I started, you've been following me for a long time, but in the beginning, I didn't charge anything for my services. I was by donation, okay, for really an unlimited period of time, doing readings for people. And, some of my readings were like 3 hours long, and they paid me $15, so it was very, in the beginning, I didn't really have a plan, and I didn't think anything of it, so it wasn't about the money. It was about doing something that I wanted to do. I was motivated because I was wanting to try something different. So when we go through these negative periods in our lives, it's motivating us to try something different. It's motivating us, giving us that inspiration to, find something in life that really calls to us. Find ourselves, okay? Reach out to others too. Cancers a lot of times get really sucked into trying to do it all on their own. But the cancer experience is really meant to experience more friends, more family, more love and support from others. So if you don't feel that, then you need to reach out to, find new people, make new friends. And there's a lot of people that get into these isolated periods in their life, okay? And then they're very detached and they're alone. And that's not good for a Cancer. It's not healthy. So I want to tell you, if you are going through any kind of that what I just described, you need to reach out to friends, reach out to family, people that love and support you. That way, you'll kind of have a new structure. So when you do go through a negative time, you'll have people there for you that it won't be so negative. That's what I want to say. Okay, so the Goblins card is very interesting. It says, fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. It says, goblins are born when you're wounded and something essential is lost in that experience. From that point on, as you forget your wholeness, they remain with you in the shadows. There, they remind you of what brought them into being by mimicking your own voice, tricking you into believing that you're unworthy, victimized, or unlovable. They hold you hostage through low self-worth, self-sabotage, and the feeling that you're lacking what you need. If goblins pay you a visit, know that they represent the shadow of your own self, or someone else's, and that they're leading you into a potentially reactive situation. A goblin's card appearance is an opportunity for growth, however, and a signal that you must love yourself. No human is without flaws. The goblin's message is that you must release resentments and negative self-talk. Within you is the spark of the divine. Ask Spirit to help heal you. Miracles can and do happen. Let go of the negativity. So to me, this is about self-love. And they always say loving yourself. You need to love yourself first. I was reading something online, okay, And I feel like this is going to really vibe for you, that I want to share with you. So I was reading this, and I think it was on Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop website, okay? There's like an article on there. And I might have tweeted about it or favorited it, I'm not sure. But basically, there was someone on there who was talking about self-love. And so I'm going to challenge you, Cancer. You don't have to do this now, but try this later, okay? Picture the person that maybe you're obsessed over or that you're totally in love with, okay? Picture how much you love. Pick someone that you love, you really love, okay? Or that you're really obsessed with, okay? And why, remember all the reasons why you're obsessed about that. Obsessed with them. Maybe they have really great hair, or maybe they have great skin, or maybe they have a perfect body, or whatever it is. Maybe they just have a beautiful personality. Maybe they have a great laugh, or maybe they have a huge heart. Whatever the reason is, pick a person and think about all the love that you send them, all the love that you feel towards them. Now, I want you to turn that love in your mind on yourself. Stop sending it to them and send it to yourself. And in that moment, when you kind of turn around, it's sort of like if you imagine like focusing on them and beaming all this love to them, turning around the beam on yourself. That is a really powerful thing. When I tried it, I was like, wow, this is so cool, So, yeah, all you need to do is sort of reverse the beam, okay? The focus. Focus less on them, and all that love that you're sending to them, focus on you. And if you don't feel it, I'd be very surprised. But message me what you think when you do try it and see how it feels, and let me know, how things are going with that. Now, there is a rune that I feel like I don't know why my guys are showing it. I have this book of runes, and I don't usually do rune stones, but the book of runes is very, very powerful. Okay, this is the one. I think this is the one that I was thinking of. I can't say it. Soulu. It's this. It's that rune stone right there. And it stands for wholeness and the sun's energy. Okay? It says, Soulu stands for wholeness, that which our nature requires. It embodies the impulse towards self-realization and indicates the path you must follow, not from ulterior motives, but from the core of your individuality. Seeking after wholeness is the spiritual warrior's quest, and yet what you are striving to become in actuality is what by nature you already are. Become conscious of your essence and bring it into form. Express it in a creative way. A rune of great power making life force available to you. Soulu marks a time for regeneration down to the cellular level. Although this rune has no reverse position, there is reason for caution. You may see fit to withdraw or even to retreat in the face of a pressing situation, especially if events or people are demanding that you expend your energy now. Know that such a retreat is a retreat in strength, a voyage inward for centering and for balance. Timely retreat is among the skills of the spiritual warrior. Soulu counsels open yourself up, letting the light into a part of your life that has been secret or shut away. To accomplish this may call for profound recognition, for admitting to yourself something that you have long denied. There is a prayer known as the Gayatri that embodies the spirit of the rune of wholeness. Address the sun in this fashion. You who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate the world, illuminate also my heart so that it can too do your work. while reciting the Gayatri, visualize the sun's rays streaming forth into the world, entering your heart, then streaming out from your heart center and back into the world. This is a powerful and life-enhancing prayer. There's caution here not to give yourself airs. Even in a time of bountiful energy, you are required to face and vanquish your refusal to let right action flow through you. Nourish this capacity, for it is the mark of true humility. Practice the art of doing without doing. Aim yourself truly and then maintain your aim without manipulative effort. For by our own power we do nothing. Even in loving, it is love that loves through us. This way of thinking and being integrates new energies and permits us to flow into wholeness, which is the ultimate goal of the spiritual warrior. So, I don't know why that was, calling to me. But that's the message there. So let's talk about this desert card. This is the journey that you're on, okay? And let's talk about for a moment, let's go back for a moment about this shooting star person, okay? Even if, say, you're going to live a very long lifespan, okay? I want you to embrace life in a way that maybe you have never done before. I'm challenging you to do that. And if you are famous, or, if you are a shooting star person, know that the reason that you are famous is because you are meant to pass on messages to a greater audience. It's not about fortune. It's not about acclaim or others thinking you're great. It's really about you being in a place of power to influence and empower others in a positive way. So that's the message. It's really something of a challenge, and I feel like despite the fact that this is a great card because it is very joyous, if you are seeking fame, know that that is the responsibility you have as someone who is in the limelight, okay? And that's really what you're meant to do. Think of a lot of actors and actresses. They go on to do a lot of really incredible work. They go on to inspire others through their, community efforts, through rebuilding of, different habitats, through charity events, through all different kinds of things that they are doing to send messages out there and really change the world. So it comes with a great responsibility. So for those of you who are in the industry, I'm just reminding you that is why you're there, okay? And it's good to remember that sometimes. The dry desert may feel for you, towards the end of May, middle of May, that you're going through a period of your life where you don't see an end to something in sight. Either you're like, you're struggling, there's a period of hardship, maybe the finances aren't there, maybe the romance isn't there, and you're just like getting to a point where you're like, I can't see the oasis. I cannot see what's ahead. I can't see the end to something. Now, some of you may be in school and you're like, oh my God, I've got like 2 years to go and I'm dying here, And some of you, you're in a situation, a tough situation where you want to get out of, but you can't for right now. And you're just like, you're struggling with it. The dry desert, the counsel here is that you will get somewhere. And you will get to an ending point. Everything has a beginning, middle, and end. So even though you're frustrated maybe right now, you will get to a better place. I want to say in your life, there won't be as much struggling. There won't be as much hardship. There won't be as much like feeling of anguish. To me, the feeling is anguish, And to me, you have two really, really positive cards as, towards the end of the spread. You have the flying card, which again is very positive. Okay, to me that's happiness. And the wishing well, which is also, you can see, sort of magical. They're very positive cards. So if you're going through a period of hardship, or if you're concerned about your finances, or if you are, whatever, waiting for something to pass, it will, okay? Things will improve, okay? You just kind of have to be strong. To me, this is a card of testing, and you need to be stronger than what, you may not be feeling very strong right now, but you need to work on your strength and adaptability, okay? It's really about adapting to life circumstances, okay? It's almost like when in Rome, do as the Romans do, When you're going through a period of hardship, be creative. Do something different, Don't try to make the money doing the same thing. Sorry, sorry. I thought there was something on the wall there. Doing the same thing over again, because that's the definition of insanity, okay? So I want to tell you this because I feel like a lot of people, especially Cancers, can get very down because they're because they don't know how to change their circumstance, okay? And it just is going to take a little bit of creativity, okay? So it's almost like, okay, if you're like stuck trying to cross a river and you've got no boat, you're going to have to make one. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to make it out of nothing. You're going to have to go to the trees, look in the woods, collect sticks, come up with some kind of rubber band situation, some kind of rope situation, forage, look for different things. Some of you may be like antique dealers. I feel like some of you do a lot with antiques or vintage things. Cancer likes older things. This is getting creative, maybe doing something like that. Maybe opening up a little boutique somewhere or a little shop somewhere, doing something that is going to get your creative juices going. Cancers are really good hunter and gatherers. They're good shoppers. They're good at going out and getting food and bringing it back and making an amazing meal. So this is one of those things that that you're good at. You need to use your skills, your natural skills and abilities to change your circumstances and get creative. Sell things, trade things, recycle things. All that stuff needs to kind of happen. And I want to, the last thing is I do want to read from my deck, okay, which doesn't have any images, so I can't hold them up. There's a lot of writing, and eventually there will be images and things, but right now, no. Some of you Cancer guys are looking for a Mrs. Right, okay? And I do feel like you're going to meet that person. Some of you are a writer. Someone is a writer, okay? And you may also like books. Eventually, you are going to be published. You are looking for like love, and you may be someone who really is great in relationships, where you're looking for love no matter what. You want the best possible relationship. I feel like that's crossing you, so I do see that for a lot of you. You may be, I do feel like this came up almost in the exact same position for Gemini. So maybe a relationship to a Gemini, or a long-term relationship with a Gemini, or meet a Gemini. This is crossing you, so it may not have happened yet. Some of you, it's interesting, you got the blended family card as well as Gemini. So this is a blended family with kids from a previous marriage plus kids of your own, okay? So you may be having kids with a new partner, okay? You may be getting married or dating someone who already has kids, okay, too. This is coming up. You have a traditional, some of you have a traditional approach to life, and you want the simple things, happy family, children, pets, a garden, a house. This is what you're looking for in the future. And I do feel like, that's one of the things you appreciate. You're going to be getting into a healthy relationship if you are, I want to say on the younger side, I want to say 35 and younger, you're going to get into a healthy relationship that leads to marriage and children. Specifically at the age 33, okay? 33 and younger Cancers, you're going to get married and you're going to have children. 35 and upwards, I feel like you're going to end up with a soulmate. It's just not happening right now, okay? You have some karma and fate in love issues, okay? Which means you've had lots of relationships, maybe dating with nothing working long term. You need to keep the faith because eventually it's going to happen, okay? It will. Some of you really want to get married. Some of you really want to get married. Some of you are happily married, okay? Some of you are in a blended marriage, okay? Some of you are in a marriage, or you have a boyfriend or girlfriend that is going to stick with you through thick and thin. They're going to be really, really good for you. And you may be, again, you might be really good in relationships. But I feel like for those of you, especially females who are, I'd say 35 and onward, okay? 34 is an interesting age because I'm 34. So 34, I'm going to include into that. I'm going to include in that area of meeting someone and eventually getting married, okay? Having children, you know, possibly even a blended family. You may really want to get married if you're 34, specifically 34 single females. Some of you are very, very tired, and you really need some better sleep, okay? You have like a tear in your aura. This is where you need spiritual healing. You know, some of you have been kind of broken by life experiences. I feel like you're going to be very drained towards the beginning of June, or maybe even in June, if you're watching this at that time. If you're watching this later down the line, you're going to need to watch your sleep cycle, sleep patterns. Your sleep is being very affected, whether it is because of the kids or whether it is because of the family or whatever it is that's causing you to stay up. You need to watch your sleep patterns to get to bed at a regular time. Some of you are very old souls, and you're going to be completing your karma. So if you are in a relationship that is deteriorating, is sucky, or if you are and you're going through divorce, know that this is part of you completing the karma. If you have been dating and you're just like, fuck, why have I not met that person? You're going to meet you're going to meet your soulmate, and your karma is completed. So therefore, you won't be struggling as much because of karmic influences. Now, I do want to say, planetary influences can suck. When you have completed your karma, it doesn't mean that you get off scot-free from learning any life lessons. It just means that you are now more open to receiving abundance and love than you were previously. It's like you don't really have any like lessons that you have to learn that you signed up for before you graduate. It's like a graduation process. Eventually, for those of you who haven't had sex, you're going to have some really passionate, hot, sweaty jungle sex. You will, okay? So for those of you, it's magnetic attraction. I feel like you're going to end up with someone who's got very strong magnetic attraction to you, and you're just really attracted to them. And some of you are very, and this is in a healthy partnership too. This is not just like, oh, it's a hookup. No, this is like you falling in love, but also having like a strong, passionate chemistry, love, passion, healthy, this is a healthy partnership. I feel like you're like once you get to that point. So some of you are just going through a period in your life where maybe you haven't met someone, but you're going to. If you, I want to say are in a shitty situation, then it's just part of your karmic experience. It's just part of the lessons that you signed up for. Some of you are psychic. And I guess maybe the final thing I want to say is some of you are just not happy in a relationship and you're going to be moving on from that, okay? You got to be careful because you know, if you are in a partnership, your partner has a wandering eye. They're checking out other people. Doesn't mean they're hooking up with these people, but they're looking at people. You may also see someone that you really like or have a crush really bad on somebody. You may see the beauty in someone. Cancers can do this. They see the beauty in people. So you may see the beauty in someone that's not your partner, or you may just like someone or be crushing on someone that's very good looking. Okay, Cancers are prone to crushes, I think. So that's all for right now. I'm just gonna leave off there. It's a great place to end. Let me know if you like a private reading. I do have spots available, and check out my website calendar. You can't book a reading through my website though, so you're gonna want to email me elizabetholson31@gmail.com. And all the links I'm going to leave below. My website is oracledaphne.com, and I just send you big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye.